by NYP. And it says here, Gen Z women are now choosing older men over guys their own age. And it's not because they're sugar daddies. Interesting. So these are Western Gen Z women who have always been against dating older men, the age gap stuff, all right? Where when we go abroad, right, it's very normal for a young woman to be dating a much older guy. But Western Gen Z women have always been against that, but now they're changing their ways. So what's happening over here, and why are they now going for guys who are much older than them? Okay, let's go over here. Okay, so it says here, according to reported dating trends and the flurry of TikTok chatter, Gen Z is warming to the idea that age is just a number. At least when the vibes are right. So it says here, right? I totally get why Chelsea was with Rick and chose him over Saxon. Oh, an 18-year-old named Olivia in a recent interview with The Independent, raving about the unlikely couple featured in the April 6th finale of the HBO hit series The White Lotus. Okay, interesting. Okay, that's a TV show. So it says here, right? Let's go. So Saxon is such an F-boy. Rick was concerned with bigger things, and Chelsea believed that they were soulmates. The age gap didn't matter to her, and I totally get that. American chicks. Wow. So it says here, right? Now, for a generation famous for canceling anything even remotely problematic, their sudden love for romantic pairings with a few decades between birthdays might seem surprising. Is that so? Okay. Now, but there's a reason behind the romance, young hopeful says. So it says here, the main key part here, very important part. According to 19-year-old Lisa, who's dating someone in his late 20s, so 29, 28, 10-year age gap, and sat down with the outlet. So she says here, right, I'd go on the odd date with someone my age, and more often than not, it would end up in a straight-up argument when the guy she was dating started saying, Andrew Tate makes good points. However, the woman's boyfriend, he's super chill, a feminist, oh dear, and weirdly, so are most of his mates. He missed all the manosphere stuff, and it shows. So she's saying here that a lot of Gen Z dudes are hardcore, right-wing manosphere dudes. Okay, that's interesting. And millennial dudes who are late 20s, early 30s are more feminists, and the whole manosphere stuff went past them. Western women love flip-flopping. So it says here, with Gen Z women said to be leaning more progressive and outspoken, and Gen Z men increasingly choosing conservatism, many young women say they're struggling to find like-minded mates. Instead, finding better matches a few years up the generational ladder. Oh, okay. There are numbers to back up the claim. Only 56% of Gen Z report having a romantic relationship in their teens compared to 78% of boomers. That's not just a drop, it's a plummet. Okay. It says here, the so-called Gen blend relationship could be the answer. Bumble says it's booming, with over 60% of users reporting that they're totally fine dating outside their age group. That's interesting. So now we're seeing these so-called liberal Gen Z Western women going slightly back to traditional ways, because it's traditional, right? It's always been since the beginning of time for a young woman to seek older men, and for older men to seek younger women. Okay, but something went wrong because feminism started being pushed. This garbage liberal culture started being pushed, and apparently it was wrong for a guy who's 35 to date a woman who's 21 and 20, right, in the West. But now that's changing. Now these Gen Z women who are 20, 19, 18, 21, they want a guy who's 40, 38, 35. And that's a problem here. Western women are not to be trusted. They flip and flop like a fish to suit their agenda and their wants and needs. Right? These women have said for a long time, right? It's creepy for an older guy to be dating a younger woman. Whereas in Japan, it's normal. Whereas in Africa, it's normal. Whereas in the Caribbean, it's normal. Philippines, normal. Russia, normal. And this is why we keep saying, like, America and other Anglo-Western countries, the women there are just horrendous. Flip-floppers, and they don't deserve to be taken seriously. Okay? They just don't. Now, going on from there, all right, it says here, so it's funny, right? Because this is another thing that they're trying to push as well. Young guy, older woman. The average guy who's of this age on this screen is not going for this old hag. That's just disgusting, and it's never been like that in history. Young men dislike older women. So, it's not just younger women seeking older men, all right? Popular films like The Idea of You, Good Luck to You, Leo Grande, and Baby Girl all show older women with younger love interests, flipping the traditional script. So Hollywood is now trying to push out this garbage agenda that will never catch on. And that's the idea that older men want older women. That's BS. But you can see in these films, they're trying to push that more heavily now, right? Old woman, younger man. And it's garbage. A guy who's 35 ain't breaking his bank or his neck for a 4-year-old chick. He's not. He wants that 21-year-old. He wants that 20-year-old chick, 19-year-old, 18. He don't want no flipping 45-year-old chick. Okay? And in real life, Hollywood's not exactly shying away. Okay? Look at the 21-year age gap between The Crown's Dominic West and wife Catherine Fitzgerald. But that's Hollywood, though. In many cases, what they push out in Hollywood ain't real life. Okay? Older women are not wanted. Right? Older women are not wanted. It's big cap. All right? This here is more like it. Older man, young woman, it should always be like that, and it's always been like that. Okay? Now, the power dynamics were off, and even Gen Z knows. Well, what does that even mean? The key thing that's sourced the ick from OK has always been the power balance. There's always something about these Western people that they always complain about. What do you mean by power balance? God damn. It says here, right? Hatthorne adds that social media is playing a major role in destigmatizing, okay, we'll say it properly, unconventional couples, okay? Platforms like TikTok give us access to diverse relationship models that we may not have been previously exposed to in our social circles. This exposure is shifting societal expectations. In other words, Gen Z is learning that love isn't just about finding someone your own age. It's about finding someone on your wavelength. And I agree. I definitely agree with that. Let's see. Whether that person remembers Y2K or thinks it's a new crypto coin, doesn't matter so much anymore. As Hatthorne puts it, partnering with someone older or younger gives an opportunity to learn from their unique experiences and cultural backgrounds. Youth brings fresh perspectives, while experience offers wisdom. Oh my God. So now the West wants to turn back to traditional ways. Now the West wants to turn back to traditional ways. After all that time saying that, oh no, younger men, young women, older men, creepy, we shouldn't want that. BS, right? We knew it was BS as passport bros. We know it's normal when we go abroad, right? And we know that West mentality is delusional, toxic, and stupid. We know that. We absolutely know that. Okay? So Once again, we are right as wiser men, older men, to absolutely go after 20-year-old chick, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Do it. If you're 50, I want to see you guys with a 19-year-old chick. If you're 60, I want to see you guys with a 19-year-old chick, 20-year-old chick. Do it. I don't want to see guys with women their own age or older than them. Go for younger women. Okay? That's how it should be. And it's always been like that since the very beginning of time. Okay? Awesome.